Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be reviewing the iPhone 7 Plus. This is a phone that came out almost 7 months ago now. The next iPhone is rumored to be released in November of this year. So if you're out and about looking for a new phone, should you buy this phone? Let's find out. Let's start with the design. It's got the same old boring 2014 design from the iPhone 6, and not a lot has changed over the years. I've moved to the iPhone 7 Plus from a OnePlus One, and boy does it feel huge and heavy. The OnePlus One was a lot lighter and easier to hold than this phone. So if you've got small hands, then just don't buy the Plus model. My hands are huge and I still find it very hard to grip this phone properly. Oh, and also, you should probably get a protective case because this phone is prone to slipping from your hands. Some major design changes are the two new black colors, the headphone jack or the lack thereof, and the new home button. I'm in love with both the new black colors, but I seem to love the matte black a tiny bit more than the jet black iPhone. Well, owning a phone without a headphone jack sucks, and it does take some time getting used to. It is a pain in the neck, but we're all moving towards a fully wireless era, and this move was an essential one. At least Apple thought it was a good idea to include the headphone jack adapter in the box. The new home button is weirdly satisfying. The Taptic engine underneath does such a good job at simulating a click that you forget it's actually not moving down at all. They've replaced the traditional home button with this to avoid another moving part, which in turn helps in waterproofing the phone. The iPhone 7 and 7 Plus are IP67 water and dust resistant, but I wouldn't really recommend you to try dropping your phone in water, because someone I know has had issues with water damage on their brand new phone. Coming back to the home button, Touch ID is just blazing fast now. I mean, I don't know how much more faster can a fingerprint sensor get. It's also extremely accurate even when the finger is not placed exactly at the center. Overall, I'm extremely satisfied with Touch ID. In the two new black models, the antenna bands have been painted black and thus the back of the phone looks neat. But there's a caveat though. Some people online have complained about the paint coming off of these new black phones. Again, I'd strongly recommend you get a protective case. At the back, the camera hump is still present, but at least now it looks a little more elegant, I would say. I'm not saying camera bumps are good, I hate them, but the way they've made it now seems to be a teensy bit better than the previous generation. Talking about camera, the rear camera has two modules, a regular wide-angle lens and another telephoto lens. Both of them are 12 megapixel sensors, where the regular lens has a focal length of 28mm and an f-stop of 1.8, and the other telephoto lens has a focal length of 56mm and an f-stop of 2.8. What this essentially means is that even though you can zoom in 2x with the touch of a button, you lose out on the good low-light performance offered to you by the larger f1.8 lens. In the portrait mode, these two cameras work together to provide a nice separation between the subject and the background. I've used this mode extensively and it's best used under good lighting conditions. But even then, the pictures are not comparable to the DSLR quality that most people talk about. Apple really has to work on its algorithm because many a times it's not able to recognize the edges of the subject properly. Thus, the edges of the subject are softened too much. If you notice properly in this picture, the letters on the lens are also blurred out. So overall, the picture quality of the portrait mode does not impress me. This is a half-baked tool for people who want to post pretentiously high-quality pictures on Instagram. The videos recorded using the rear cameras are simply beautiful. It can pull focus really quickly. Not even in badly lit environments, this camera has not failed to pull focus. That's saying a lot for a smartphone camera. Under well-lit environments, it's hard to tell the difference between this phone and a good DSLR. I guess that's a win for the iPhone. The front camera has a 7 megapixel sensor coupled with an f2.2 aperture lens. Here are some camera samples and you be the judge. Coming to the display, it's not an insane 2K or 4K OLED panel, but it's a simple, sharp, bright and beautiful 1080p LCD panel. The display can show a wider range of colors now. With the increment in battery capacity, iOS optimization and the 1080p resolution, you're instantly guaranteed amazing battery life. On the software side of things, 3D Touch is now more widely used by a lot of apps. And that's a good thing. I don't always use 3D Touch, but when I do, it's extremely convenient. The Taptic engine has been used really well by the developers at Apple. When you pull down the notification panel or pull up the control panel, the phone vibrates in a specific way to make us feel like the panel just bounced on our hands or something. I don't really know how to explain this. It's one of those things you gotta experience to understand how it feels. As always, iOS is smooth and super fast. There are some occasional bugs, but overall it feels so buttery smooth and nice. I've got no complaints. When it comes to multitasking, you'd think it only has 3 GB of RAM when compared to the other Android flagships. But damn, it can hold all the apps on the phone in the background. Coupled with the A10 Fusion chip, this thing is no slouch. The battery on this thing is a beast. Though only 2900 mAh in capacity, this thing can easily go past a day of moderate usage. I once got this phone to 2 days of light usage, which included 2 hours of Bluetooth streaming, around 3 hours of videos on YouTube, and regular Snapchat, Instagram calls, messages and mail usage. I was shocked to see a phone that could go on for more than a day, let alone 2 days. But there was like this one instance when I couldn't get to the end of the day, and on that day I did like 2 hours of Wi-Fi tethering. So if you have or are planning to buy the iPhone 7 Plus, don't use it as a hotspot for long. It drains your battery. And last but not the least, not a lot of people talk about this, but the signal strength is extremely good and the call quality is top notch. I'm saying this after using a lot of phones with the same SIM card in the same house and never having usable signal strength except on this phone. That about wraps up this video. Hope you guys liked it. If you've got any questions, drop them down in the comment section below. Catch you guys later.